What's going on, guys? John Elder here from Codemy.com, and in this video, we're going to start to build out our math flashcard app with Tkinter and Python. Alright guys, like I said, in this video, we're going to start to build out the math part of our flashcard app. But before we get started, if you like this video and want to see more like it, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, and check out Codemy.com where I have dozens of courses with hundreds of videos that teach you to code. Use coupon code YouTube1 to get $30 off membership. That's all my courses, videos, and books for a one-time fee at just $49, which is insanely cheap. Okay, so we left off last time, pretty much finished up with our state capitals app, and now I want to spend just a couple of videos doing a math flashcard app, and you can see I've got sort of a basic layout here. And the thing that's kind of interesting about this is we're going to use these images for these, flashcard number images, and I just whipped these up in Photoshop. I'll push this up to my GitHub account if you want these exact pictures, but you can use any sort of flashcardy looking images for this. In fact, real quick, let's just head over. If you go to github.com/flatplanet, and then click on repositories, you can go to this Intro to Tkinter YouTube course repository, and then it's in images and flashcards, and you can see all of these images. So if you want to copy these, individually, right click and save them onto your computer, you can go ahead and do that, but you absolutely don't have to do that. You can use any images you want or no images at all. We're going to start out using numbers for this, I think, and then swap in the images after that anyway. So it'll work either way. So, all right, let's head back over to our flashcards.py file. And remember, we're going to be using images. So make sure you have from pill import image tk and image, and make sure you've pip installed pillow with a capital P. If you haven't done that yet, go back and watch some of the earlier videos when we originally did that. All right, so let's come down here and let's take a look at our code. It's getting pretty intense here. We got a lot of stuff going on, but still not too bad. And now we need to add a menu item. So right now we've only got geography. We need to add this math menu item, and then at least for now, just start the addition flashcards. We'll do subtraction, multiplication, division, all that later. But for now, we're going to start with the addition. So I'm just going to go ahead and close this. So come down here to our menu items here, and let's create a new comment. Let's call this math flashcard menu, maybe. And we can copy probably some of this. I'm just going to copy these 3 lines. And instead of states menu, let's call this math menu. And it's still going to be on my menu. And then let's see here. Well, let's call this math. And we want to put this on our math menu, right? And then let's see. This will be changed to math menu. And we want to add addition. And then when we run this, we want to run the add function that we haven't created yet. So let's go ahead and just, for now, I think that'll do. Let's come up here to the top and let's just create really quickly, create addition math flashcard function. And let's define it as add. And for now, we just want to pass. Okay, so let's save this and let's run Python flashcards.py. And here we are, we see math and addition. Nothing happens yet because we haven't built anything out, but at least it's on there and it's working. So, okay, so far so good. So let's come back down here to the bottom again and let's create a new frame. Let's call this addition frame. And what do we want to call this? Let's just call it add frame. And it's going to be a frame and we want to put it in root. And we want the width to equal 500 and the height to equal 500, just like all the other ones. Make sure I spelled height right. I always misspell height. Okay, so add frame is the frame we're going to be using for our addition math flashcards. Okay, so let's come back up to our add function and let's start to build this out. And the first thing we want to do, like when we always create a function like this, we want to call that hide all frames function. And let's go down to that one. We need to add some stuff to it. Let's see, where is it at? Okay, so now we've got our other 2 frames for our other 2 flashcard things. Now we need one for our add frame. So let's forget this now. And let's just copy all of this. We want to destroy everything in the frame like we've done in the past whenever it loads. So let's see, it's going to be add frame. So let's just copy this and change that. Okay, so we're going to say for all the children widgets in our add frame, destroy them all. We've done this before. We already know what this code does. Okay, so let's save that. All right, so now we can come up to our add function again. And the first thing we want to do is put that frame on the screen. So let's go add frame dot pack, and we have to fill equals both and expand equals 1. That's just always what we do. Okay, so now the frame's on there. So let's make sure this worked by creating some sort of label. So let's just call this add underscore label, and it's a label. And we want to put this in our add frame. And we want the text to be, let's say, Addition Flashcards. Yeah. And let's give this a font of Helvetica and a size of, I don't know, 28-ish. Let's make it big, or maybe 18. Doesn't have to be that big. And let's pack this on the screen and give this a pad Y of 15 just to smush it down a little bit. Okay, so let's save this and run it just to make sure that all of that worked. Oh, invalid syntax. Oh. Font equal, oh, doy. All we need to do is put 18. We don't need to do size equal. Okay, so let's save that. Now let's run this. And we've got addition, boom, that pops up. All right, we're good to go. So now we want to start to build out the number section right here. Now we're packing everything. And with pack, it just puts it one after another. And I don't want to put these two pictures one after another. I don't want the one on the top and the next one on the bottom. I want them side by side. So to do that, I think I'm going to create a new frame and then pack that frame. But then inside of the frame, we'll use the grid system. And you could do that. So I think that's what we'll do. That should be easy. So let's head back over to our code and give us some space here. And underneath our label, let's create a frame, and let's just call it add. Oh, we already have an add frame. Let's call this a picture or a pick frame, right? And it's a frame, and we want to put it in our add frame, not our root. And let's make the width, I don't know, let's make it slightly smaller. We don't want it to be the whole 500. Let's make it as 400. And the height, we don't want it to be the whole 500 for that either. Let's put that at, say, 300. And then let's pick underscore frame dot pack. And all right. Okay, so now we need a couple of random numbers, right? Because we want flashcards and we want to generate them randomly. So we can come down, well, first off, make sure you've got from random import rand int. We've done this in past videos. But now let's just come down here to any of our, see, we've got random functions here, right here. We're creating a random integer between 0 and something. So we could just grab this code right here. And we can come back up here and just paste that in. But we don't want it between 0 and some number. We want this between 0 and 10, right? And let's create two of these. So instead of calling them rando, I'm going to call this, one of them, num underscore 1, and the other one num underscore 2. And we're probably going to want to break this out into its own function eventually, but for right now, we'll just leave it like this. We can always do that later. So now let's create a couple labels inside our PickFrame frame, right? So let's call one of them add 1 and the other one add 2. And these are going to be a label. And they're going to be in our pick underscore frame. So we could just copy this for now. And then we want another label that is the math sign. So is it addition? Is it multiplication? Is it subtraction? So that's going to be also a label. And it's also going to be in pick frame. Okay. So we've created, so I guess now we want 3 labels, right? So now we can designate what those are going to be, and then we can update them accordingly. So now we've created them. Now let's put them on the screen. Now remember, we packed our picture frame into the main frame, right? Our add frame. But inside of the pick frame, we want to use the grid system so that we can put them all across. So let's go, let's say grid our labels. And let's go add underscore one dot grid. And I'm just going to copy and, well, now let's do it all out. So, and then we want row equals 0 and column equals 0. So let's just copy this whole thing 3 times. Now this one will be add 2, and this one will be math underscore sign. Now we want the first one to go first, we want the sign to go second, and we want the add 2 to go third. So maybe we'll copy this and do it like this so it makes more sense. So when we want them all in the same row, we want the columns different. So this will be column 0, this will be column 1, and this will be column 2. So, okay, that looks good. Now for now, let's just update each of these guys with our random number just to make sure this is looking good. This is working. So let's go add one dot config, and let's set the text to equal, let's say num underscore 1. And then we can go add underscore 2 dot config. And let's set the text equal num underscore 2 for that one. And then let's go math underscore sign dot config. And then here we want the text to equal that, I suppose. And we really don't need to do that. We don't really need to config it like this. In fact, I'm just going to take this out because this is never going to change really. So instead, let's say when we create it up here, let's just set the text equal to a plus sign, and let's set the font equal to Helvetica, and the size, let's put the size as 28. We want to make it real big. Okay, that looks good. So let's save this and see what horrible errors I made, because that was a lot of code all at once without testing. So let's see. All right, so we have addition flashcards. We have 9 plus 8. If we run it again, boom, 3 plus 10. If we run it again, 1 plus 7. Now these are tiny, and if you want to just use numbers, you can make them bigger in the same way we made this plus sign bigger, right? But I'm not going to use these numbers for this visual stuff. I'm going to use the actual cards themselves, the actual pictures themselves. So let's go ahead and start to do that now. Now, let's see. Like I said earlier, I made these, I whipped up these cards in Photoshop, took like 5 minutes, just very basic cards. And I saved them in our GUI/images/flashcards directory. So we've been doing everything in our GUI directory. We also have this images directory inside of there that has some other things from some other videos. Inside of that one, I just created another directory and then plopped all of our pictures in there. So we'll need to reference that directory going forward here. So, okay, let's see. Here where we're configuring our images, we need to probably put that down a bit. All right, now we want to create our actual images. So I'm going to create a couple of global images, and I'm going to call this add image 1, and then add underscore image 2. And then for each of these, let's go add underscore image 1 equals, this is going to be an image TK, capital T, lowercase k, and it's going to be a photo image. And we want to call image.open. And this should be old hat for you guys by now. We did the same thing earlier with our state capital, or our state flashcards, right? So we want to open, and then we want to just point that to where it is. So it's C// there you go, GUI /images/ what did I say that was? Flashcards. And we're going to do this for both of them. Well, actually, let's put a slash here. We still need to tinker with these a bit, as I'm sure you probably remember from when we did this with the state or with the capital flashcards. So this will be image 2. Now, what we need to do is use our random numbers that we generated to tell which one of these cards we want to pull. And we can come back to our state thing here. And we did the same thing right here with this line. So I'm just going to copy this and come up here and then paste this in twice. So instead of state, let's just say, let's just call this card 1, and this one will be card 2, right? So, and this is going to be in, well, let's just pull this whole thing up here like this and paste that in and do it again. And then plus this will be whatever, let's see, this random number is, num1. So we'll just put that in there. And this will be num2. These are just these two random numbers that we generated, right? And then plus .png, because these are all PNG files. So now inside of here, instead of calling this, we can just call card1. And here we can just call card2. And make sure you do not put that in quotation marks, because these are variables. Okay, so let's see. That looks correct. Now, for our, instead of putting the numbers on here, let's get rid of some of the space here. And now let's comment, put flashcard images on the screen. And inside of each of these, we can just call image equals, and then call one of these things. So let's do that. And I'm just going to copy this whole thing. Paste that. Image 2. All right, so let's save this and run it and see how badly we messed that up. Math, addition. Uh-oh, we did. What do we do? Can only concatenate string, not integer. Oh, obviously. Of course, we need to, this is an integer, right? Because we're creating a random integer. We need to convert this to a string. So we can do that just by calling the string function and wrapping that, each of these in that. So str. Okay, so that should work. Let's head back over here. Run this guy again. Boom, boom, boom. 0 and 7. Very cool. And then we can do it again. 9 plus 9. 2 plus 3. 0 plus 8. Awesome. 0 plus 2. And every time we run this, we're getting a new random number, and then, thus throwing up different pictures. So, okay, moving right along, we've got our new Addition flashcard thing. It creates random numbers every time we do it. Now we need an entry box where we can actually type in the answer and a button. So let's just go ahead and do that real quick. And just down here, let's just go create answer box and button. And let's just call this add underscore answer. And this is going to be an entry box, and it's going to be in our add underscore frame, not in our gridded system here, right? Not in our PickFrame. We want to put this in the regular add frame. And let's give this a font of, let's say, Helvetica, and I don't know, 18 for now. And then we can just, well, let's put this on its own line. Add underscore answer dot pack. And then let's create an add answer button. And it's a button. And we want to put it in our add frame. And we want the text to equal answer. And we don't have a command yet. We'll do that later. So let's go add answer button dot pack, and let's give this a pad Y of 5 just to give it a little space. All right, so let's save this and run it, see what that looks like. Break out of this and run it again. All right, so that's right up there. So let's smush that down a bit. So when we pack this guy, let's give this a pad Y of, I don't know, 10 or 15 or whatever. Run this again. All right, it's looking a little bit better. Maybe I want some more space here. So let's go 25 or 50, whatever you want. Play around with it. Make it look however you want it to look. That's part of the fun of this, right? Okay, starting to look better. Now this answer button is a little bit too far down because we're giving a pad Y of 50 all the way around. So maybe we would get rid of that pad Y on the button itself. Whatever. Okay, it's starting to come together. So in the next video, we'll actually do the logic to answer the question, answer the flashcard, and see whether our answer was right or wrong or not. That's fairly simple, but this video is getting a little bit long, so I think we'll leave that to the next video. And so yeah, pretty fun. This is just a basic little flashcard app. It's not much to this thing, but you know, it gives us something to do, builds out our flashcard app. So now we have geography and math. So yeah, it's coming right along. And kind of fun. So that's all for this video. If you liked it, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, and check out Codemy.com where you can use coupon code YouTube1 to get $30 off membership. So pay just $49 to access all my courses, over 40 courses, hundreds of videos, and the PDFs of all my best-selling coding books. Join over 100,000 students learning to code just like you. My name is John Elder from Codemy.com, and we'll see you in the next video.